everyone. Okay, we can start with actual discussions.
Yeah. Shrikant, interest of time, once we create a business partner, how we are client?
Your voice is not clear.
Once we create a business partner, how we are moving to another client, which process we are following?
Moving to another client, it's not clear even. So we will create a business partner and how we are moving to another client, it means.
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So here CVI integration is there, right? So it is a customer vendor integration. It's out of MDG, right? So not specific to MDG. So CVI integration will be there whenever you create BP. So based on the role and authorization, so there will be a bi-directional from BP to customer and customer to BP, BP to vendor and vendor to BP. Bi-directional configuration or settings will be there. So based on the roles, it will be identified which we are creating. Are we creating a customer or are we creating a supplier? Based on the roles and authorization group, it will be identified and supplier will be, suppose I'm going to create a supplier based on my role, system will pop up or the system will automatically dynamically displays the screen or change request. Suppose I want to create a supplier, it will give the supplier. If I want to create a customer based on my roles, it will give you the customer screen. So then the other remaining process would be same. We need to fill the details. How
about the employee details? Employee details.
Employee details.
Yeah. If I'm creating the business partner using that is not a supplier and vendor, employee will also create with the business partner only, right? PA30 transaction.
Yeah.
So that data, if I want to move like how from one client to another client.
Your voice is not clear actually. We will create a business partner through BP.
Okay.
You are saying like customer through XK01 customer vendor, if we create directly through other transaction codes, how we can move that? Is that your question?
Yeah.
So I think it is in S4, it is absolute XD01 and XK01. Everything we need to follow BP only based on the roles. Just now Srikanth specified, right? There were the roles for FLCU00, FLCU01 is for customer sales and finance, and FLVN00 is vendor for finance, and FLN01 is vendor for purchasing. So those old transactions which we are creating in ECC, completely it is absolute in S4.
Yeah, Manda, you are correct.
Yeah. So in the CVA integration, earlier we in ECC also BP it is there, but we were not using that one. It is using by other applications like CRM and SRM. But now in S4, they make into the one umbrella. Like there is no separately created a customer and vendor. Even though you are creating the customer, you are uploading the customers in S4, but internally it will, based on the rules, it will create as a BP. Under that, customer and vendor is tagged. And there should be some tables, CVA underscore cust underscore link and CVA underscore vend underscore link. These links, you will see that customer linking with BP and vendor is linking with BP, and BUT 100 is BP roles data table, and BUT 000 is BP general data.
Okay.
Am I answered the question?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Because I've been doing all those things last year. That's why I know that CVA integration, and I just give the information. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not remembering exactly here or some other class. I asked you to prepare CVA integration and come up. So because in the CVA integration, we do the vice versa configuration, as Madhusudan has said. So we will have a CVA cust link and CVA event link tables. So based on that, we can have a relationship to the BP. And if you remember my class, so I was keep on saying, we will be installing MDG system on top of ECC and S4HANA. The system which we are talking about, let me share my screen, that will become obsolete, right? Hope you can see my screen. So here we will have MDG and S4, right? So this S4 HANA system will become a dummy system. Even though you have access, if you consider a material, from MM01, we can create material, but we don't do that. So we will be having a change request process. We will create a change request through MDG. Similarly for BP also, even though you have XK01 and XD01 access, you need to go to MDG and create a supplier or customer. So the access for customer vendor will be, I think it will be available just for display, not for create or modify. Right? This will become as a dummy. Similarly, for finance also, everything is same. ECC or S4 system, whatever you have, that will be a dummy system. All the configurations we do, but everything master data related operations like create, update, modify, delete, everything will be done in MDG system through change request process. That is what we discussed. Correct. I think you can see my screen, right?
I can see.
Okay. Okay, good. So we were discussing, the change request and change request type and decision tables, right? And decision tables, we will have three types of decision table: user agent, non-user agent, and single value. In single value table, we will have everything. And in user agent, we will have a user agent or foreground activities. And in non-user, we will have a non-user background activities or background related steps will be added in non-user agent table. Is this clear? Single value user agent and non-user agent. I think if no answer, then I think it is not clear for you. If I have any PPTs, let me check. Process modeling with rule-based workflow. This one is different. Yeah. As I shown you in the last class, better I'll that I can just give me a minute. Now I'm sharing my screen. Hope it is visible. Can you see the screen? So we discussed about this workflow decision tables, all the configurations, right? How workflow will work, start to end. So we will have 0, 0, and 99. So from 0, 0, it will start. It will go for requester. It will go for reviewer and approver. And then finally, after activation, workflow will be completed, right? I hope you remember. This is what we discussed. We discussed these steps, and then single value 0, 0, and previous value as empty, and then conditional yes and all, right? This is the table for single value decision table. Now we will create a same table in our scenario. Okay. And then hopefully you will understand what we will have. We will have a change request type created. This one, this is our ZMAT OCT. This is our CR type for material. So let me check this in the system. Yeah. Okay. Where I have to go? I have to go to the transaction MDG MG. So here we will have data model, UI model, process model, everything. So to check the change request and workflow, which one I need to expand? Can anyone tell?
Process modeling.
Yes. No. Okay. So here in process modeling, we will have workflow, and then we will have a rule-based workflow. So here under rule-based workflow, we have configure rule-based workflow. Now let me go ahead. Okay.
Manu, here a question, right? When we do this change request types, can't we use the SAP provided change request types? Why we have to do Z?
Yeah, we can use that also. That's not a problem. I think last time we checked with one of the standard change request type only, but SAP has given that as a template. We can easily configure that and we can easily copy to our own change request types, and we can modify that, because that is a standard functionality without changing the existing functionality. It is easy task only to create a change request types.
Yeah, so my question is, do we really have to copy and change it to Z, or can't we use directly what, for example, I was in my project I was doing for financials. So there are standard change requests like PCTP1 for profit
Right.
center. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just directly used it to configure this rule-based workflow. I didn't create a copy and created a Z change request, and it was working absolutely fine. So my question is it mandatory to copy the existing change request and create a Z change request?
It's not mandatory, but you will have a different scenarios, right? So you will have a different scenarios. If you use your existing change request for create, you will not like, you won't create a multiple change request types again and again. So if you have a separate change request types for your business scenarios, you will be using that. So let's say the example, the simple workflow process only. If you check the standard change request type, it doesn't have any. You need to add, right? So what is your main course of action? You just need to copy. That's all. Recommendation would be like, we can copy the standard change request type easily and modify the decision tables. So why we have to modify the existing standard decision tables?
So the recommendation is to copy and create a new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can change the description, everything for the better understanding or more meaningful description you can give. If you use the standard one, it will be like a standard template, standard description would be there.
Short question. All these codes that we have, 99, 01, 02, 20, so far, so they're all standard codes by SAP, right?
01, 20, no,
So
I didn't get
for the single value decision tables, you do entries, right? 99 and 00 and APP and PV, all those codes that we have, are those SAP standard codes?
No, not everything. Not everything standard. Few are given by SAP. So SAP also given us option to add our own step numbers, own our step types, descriptions based on our requirement. We can add.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay. Now, as you said, so we will check both. Okay. Now I will take this ZMAT and check the decision tables. Here we don't have any because it is new. Right. And also I'll take the other CR type. With CR type, let me go to the tables. What is the transaction code SC16N? Here we can see the tables. I hope freshers are not there, so you can get it this easily. I'm going to 120C USMD 120C, and I can give the change request type. Remove this. Let's see with the GMAT. GMAT, we will have with GMAT. There is no final check approved one, so but I will go with MAT final check approved. This one is MAT L01. So let me take this GMAT OCT. Now let me check the change request. Here, create a change request type. So this one is the standard one. Here you can see the standard description. Even though you can change, but the recommendation would be you can easily copy that. It's not a big deal to copy, right? We will have GMAT OCT. Yeah. This is for process material. So let's take the process material GMAT L02 and check the workflow. Right. Let me check the rule-based workflow for this MAT L02. Decision tables, single value, right? So everything is added, and as Manu said, and so this is directly changed by someone. But yeah, so you can see here, we will have a CR, a previous step. So wherever you see the descriptions, these are all the standard given by SAP. 00, it starts from 00 and ends at 99. 99 is a completion. So you will be ending the workflow in different ways, like whenever the activation is successful, it should be completed. And in case if it is revision, right? So it should be completed. We will have two ways, complete and incomplete. And again, it starts from here, 00 step. And conditional, yes, you can give anything. You can give 1, 2, 3, you can give ABC, some kind of meaningful. Conditional, yes, you can give. And these step numbers, the standard step number, step 3 change request steps we have taken, but you can give our own custom step numbers and CR statuses also. Now, as soon as I start submitting the change request, it should go here. This step will be executed. And my change request, new change request step is 90, and I will be updating changes to be executed. And again, this is the new step, right? So this new step will become a previous step. So this 90 will come here. Can you see here? This 90 will come here. This will become old now, the previous step. This is step. This is new change request step. This is old change request type. Action and status. So only based on the conditional yes. So this previous step and this new step, you have to link how we will be moving from here to there, from 00 to 99. So that is all, everything. So 90 we will have. For 90, what is this 90? 90 is a final check. It's a foreground activity where user will get activate or reject buttons. There are two possible ways. He may approve it or he may reject it. If I go to my PPT here again, you will see the workflow, right? Just a minute. Yeah. So here, a reviewer or approver, here you can see this is one direction and there is another direction. So this is forward and this is backward. So it means a rejection is also there and approver also there. So whenever it is approved, it will go further. Whenever there is some rejection, it will go back. Whenever activation fail, it will go back. So similarly, here also, we will have two possible ways, activate or reject. If it is activate, if user clicks on activate, it will go for activation step 91, right? If user clicks on reject, it will go for 95. Is it clear? 00 to 90 and 90, we will have two branches again, two buttons. I would say two buttons. Action means consider it as a button. Action, some button, activate and reject. In case if it is going for activation 91 and for 91 again we will have two, either we will have two. So here if it is activated it will go in this direction. If it is activation fail then again it will go back. So again we will have two directions. Activation may success or activation may fail. If activation success, if in case activation is success, then complete the change request. Right. As per the diagram also, if activation is success here, then end, complete the change request. If activation fails, then go back to requester. So here also you can see if activation is not, this is not successful, then final check 90. So here it will go. 90 means start from here. It will go back to here again to the initial step 90. This is how it links. And 90 it starts from here. The loop will get executed. Okay. And 91 we discussed. And then 95. What is this 95? In case 95, what is it? Reject. In case if user clicks on reject button, what will happen? For 95, we have to add entries here. Again, for 95, there are two possible ways. Once I got my change request back, I have requested or created a change request. It came to me again. Approver has rejected it. He did not approve it. He rejected it. So I have again two options. Either I can resubmit it again. I can modify the data and then resubmit it. Or what I can do, I can withdraw it. So let's withdraw it. I no need to send it again for approval. I'll take it back. So that two possible options here we will have.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
We will need to add resubmit or withdraw. In case resubmit, in case I'm resubmitting, what it is, again the same step will execute it. Here, see from 00 step, we will have 90 step, right? Again, the final check will be executed. And from 90, again these steps will be executed and that will keep go for approval. In case of withdraw, here you can see, in case of withdraw, so I'm withdrawing my change request. What will be the possible execution step? So in case of withdraw, I will say revision. I'm getting it back. No need to send it for approval again. So this here we will have a 92. So for 92 step, there is no previous action. I'm just completing it because I withdraw. I'm withdrawing my changes. So that's why it will be complete. And This is the overall change request workflow activity. It starts from 00 and then completes at 99. And based on this conditional yes, again, as I said, you will be differentiating the foreground activities and background activities. Now, if I go and check this user agent decision table, I'll have a foreground activity. What are the possible foreground activities? Change request, activation, activate change request, 157. So 157. Now let me go on and see what is 1. This is 1 conditional yes, and 5 conditional yes, 5 and 7. Can you see this? Can you observe these steps? Are these steps are these actions are 157? Just give me a minute. 1575 is activation not successful. Is this activation not successful? If not successful, then it is coming back. Final check. Here final check, and here also a final check. Can you see here 157? These 3 foreground activities. And now let me go. I'll remove this. I'll go to non-user agent. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, and 8. And come to single value decision. 2, my conditional is 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, can you see? Activation. Activation will take him. I mean, the system will take care of the activation part. Once the approver is approved, change request is approved, then activation part will be taken care by my system. And completion, workflow completion. Once it is successful, workflow completion also a background activity. So this should be done by system. And same here also completion. Revision, sending back to the requested or withdraw process. So this is also a background activity. So all these background activities we have added here, a conditional yes. And agent group is one for every the background activity. And the important thing here you need to understand the process pattern. Process pattern is different. SAP has given a standard process patterns. Here, if I go here, you can see these are the from F4. You can see these are the standard process patterns. Standard system related process patterns or system related tasks, I would say. Updates, system related updates. So now we will have in background, most of the time we will use this 05 and 06 for activation of change request. If you take activation 05 and 06, let's say if I take 05, here it is saying do not bypass snapshot. If I take 06, it is activation bypass snapshot. So here what we will have 06. 06 bypass snapshot. And if I take 05 and 06, what is the difference between these two? Both are activation only, right? But what is the difference? So there is a difference. Do not bypass and bypass. So something, the meaning itself, it is saying bypass, it is skipping something. So during the activation of the change request, the bypass means it is skipping something and activate. Do not bypass means don't skip anything. Check everything and activate, and then activate. If everything is perfect, then activate. Otherwise, don't activate. So that is how we will have a process pattern. Let's say like I have created, I'm just updating a material. I'm updating one material. And during the change request process, somebody has changed something related to the same material, not directly from the change request. Somewhere the other data related to that material was changed. So in that case, if we update this do not bypass snapshot, my system will check everything, whatever related to the material is correctly updated or not. I mean, if anything is changed, so it will identify that something got changed. So do not activate. It will skip that activation and say that something got changed. Somebody, I mean, like you will get that error, activation failure error. An error, if you debug, then you will understand what is happened in backend during the change request process. But if you update this activation bypass snapshot, then system will not consider everything. It will consider only the primary part and then gets activated.
What is the recommended practice here? What should we be using?
In real time, we have to use 05. So here,
and when do we use 06? What scenarios?
It is a demo system. We just need to complete all the configurations related to material would not be in place in this system, right? So if we do this through 05, we may ended up with some errors, activation errors. If we do with 06, it would be, I think, easy to get activate the material. We can try this also.
No, my question is what scenarios in real world would be using 06? I think 05 is the right thing to do. But when do we use 06? What are some of the examples?
The examples are like, suppose this is a demo system. Here the configurations are not done properly. We just need to show that whenever we create or update material, it should get activated through change request and then display in the table. That's all we required. We no need to check everything. We no need to monitor everything, right? So now we can use this. So in some of the scenarios, so we will have, and this is also based on the change request types. Like I have a change request type, which is for my finished goods. Okay, my material type is finished goods. I need to check everything related to the finished goods. Everything should be through change request only. Nobody should change anything apart from this MDG process. So in that case, I can go for 05. If something got changed, like a small description somewhere related to the items data, somewhere related to the, so even the small changes also will not be, the system will identify that and it will skip the activation process. Got it?
Okay, got it. So basically it's saying if we are using a test system or a demo system, we can use 05.
Yeah, 06 we can use. If we want to check everything properly, monitoring the text tables and the related dependent tables, everything should be in sync and then activated. That is for 05. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And we will have service name also. That this service name maybe we will discuss later, bit later. This is also important. And now coming back to user decision table. User decision tables. Here now you can see the user agent type is user, but in real time you will be having a role. So one role will be created for each and every stage. For requester role will be created, and for approver or data steward or data producer, you will be have a separate roles. If you are in both, if you are doing a multi-role as a request approver, data steward, if you have a multi-role and responsibilities, you will be having a composite role. So everything in real time, most of the customers will go with the roles, right? Security roles. So here for security roles, you will have AZ. So instead of this user, you will get role. This is AZ. A role will be assigned instead of this direct user ID. And also you can see organization unit, job, position. In case if you are using the organization, there are some organizations, they will follow some hierarchy. Under the organizations, they will maintaining some positions, jobs. So everything should be received, the work item. So if I add a position, let me check if anything is available in the system. Organization. So it will be like that. So you will be having organization. Under one org unit, you will have a position, you will have a job, you will have person, you will have a user, like this. So this is kind of hierarchy. So it means like one person under job, multiple persons will be there or one person will be there. So it will not directly affect, like this is a position, this is a position for manager position. under this position ID, let's say some 10 managers are there. If I assign this position in my workflow, so every time whenever I create a change request based on the position, every manager will receive the change request, right? If somebody left the organization, then that doesn't matter, right? So based on this position ID, we will be updating the managers, their user IDs. So it will be automatically updates whoever is the new manager. It doesn't matter who left the organization, who is the new manager. So in that perspective, so this will be helpful. A position, a job ID, instead of directly hard coding the user IDs to set a position ID. So it will be a better approach. So now we will not use this arg unit mostly in material and BP. So we will use this arg unit when we work with some HR related master data. If you are working for a data model or a custom data model where you will have HR, right? HR arg units. So in that case, you have to use this position. So instead of roles, they will prefer using the positions, right? So this is for user agent, and we have discussed a single value decision tables also. Now we will configure the same tables for our change request type, and let's see how system will behave. So last time we tried creating it, but it did not work through because we don't have a decision tables. Now to create, we can create.
Question, right? Is there a list of standard step types provided by SAP?
Yes, we do have. If I think you were there in my.
Okay, if it is there, that's fine. You don't have to go. If it's covered, I'll go back and check.
Yeah. So here you can see these links. You will have step types and everything. We discussed everything. Yeah.
And this document is there, right, in the portal?
I'm not sure. I'll this is my own document actually. I'll ask ZaranTech to share this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And yep. Now let's go to our own change request type. Now I just need to update this. So to update this tables, I'll have two options. Directly I can insert the row and update one by one. I will have here import and export option also. Here you can see export Excel. I can export this same, right? So here I got it. It is available in my downloads with this MAT L02. So now for time being, okay, I will go with import from Excel, continue from downloads, click on OK. See, we got everything. If any modifications are required, you can modify. So let's say now I want to change something like instead of these changes to be executed, I need to add something else here similar to changes to be executed. If I see something to be considered and approved. So it means direct approval, I'm saying. So if I take this step, okay, let me take this. So it is saying that consider and approve. So as of now, I'm just saving it. And the user agent decision table also. This one also. I'll download from here, export, and then you can do it here. Continue import. Yeah. User agent, right? User agent, it is very quick. And now for activation, so we will have three roles. I don't require this, so I'll be deleting it. So here I'll give my user ID. What is my user ID? ZRSAP MDG1. So ZSAP MDG1. Let me take this ZRSAP1. It means I am the approver. I am the requester now. So let's see how system will behave. I hope that there is no check where the requester and approver should not be same. So generally, logically, if we think logically, a requester should not be the approver, right? So if I am the requester, And why should I approve for the same change request? So in real time, we have to put that check if the requester is also available from approval side. So in that case, we have to skip sending the change request to the same person again. Okay, so that is different. Yeah. Now let me go to the non-user agent and export to Excel. It is exported, and here you will have import from Excel and non-user. So if you have everything handy, then it is easy. Otherwise, you have to manually add one by one. Okay, I'm activating it. Before activation, you can do this check and activate. So here also user agent, I have to check. So everything is consistent, and I'm activating consistent and activate. Do you want to really activate? Yes, activate it. Right now, our change request type is activated with the decision tables. Now let's see. We will create a change request for update material. Zomato OCT is for update. Okay. So where we can go on update material? What is the transaction code? Right. So here in NWBC, we can go on update the material. I think is it already open? Let's see. So I'm going to NWBC and material, search material. Search material will give you the list of materials available, and easy. You can take any material and update it. So I'm clicking on search button. You will get the list of materials, and better I will take the last one, probably 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. So now as soon as I select this, can you see here? These buttons are enabled, see? And if I don't select, those are disabled. So now I'm selecting it, and I can do copy, mask change, multi-processing, change document, re-replicate all these options. So now I don't want all these things. I'm just going inside. So you can click on 1, 2, 3 and edit option. So you can modify this material, edit, click on edit. So now you will have our own change request type. And this is the standard change request type, right? So let me take this, my change request type. This is for training we are using. I click on OK button, see the change request. Let me expand. I clicked on this expand all. You can see change request, number and description. So description I can give test a material 1, 2, 3 update, correct. So now I can see the base unit of measure, material type, material group, category. So I can see some data is already there. Now, if I want to change anything, so everything is enabled for requester, right? So I can add, say the plant 10 is there. Now I'll add one more plant. Okay, so maybe I will add 1020 if it is available. Yeah, 1020 is available. I'm adding another plant, and this is also added. I'm just removing one. So as soon as I add plant 1020, you can see that here the clock symbol. What is it? For this, it is not available. Here only clock symbol is there. Why? Because it is staging. This is new. This is already existed. So this is new. So this is a change request. This is available in change request. And now you can go up and click on check button. So check button will do all the validations related to a basic data and distribution chains, and inside this plant also. So now I have added plant, right? So you can see that you will be assuming that only this valuation area, whatever I can see here, this is validated. But if you go in details, you will have other data also here. So you will have other data. So now if I click on expand all, it is plant specific data. See? Everything is related to plant specific. So everything is a part of validation. So this is also validated. So if you want to default anything, if you want to do validations, whenever I extend plant 2020, so something should be defaulted at MRP level, right? So you can you can create as per the business. You can create our own rules, validations. So this is MRP, material requirement planning. So if I want to update something here, MRP type or something. So when I extend only 1020, this part comes under validation derivations. Maybe that we will discuss later. Yeah. Now I click on done and I'm going back and uncheck. So it's fine. So I consider there are two warnings. It's not error. Tables TCURM and T001W inconsistency. So it means if in this case, if we have a process pattern 05, do you think that this material activation will happen? No, system will not agree this. System will check everything, even though there are few warning messages. System will not agree. If we have process pattern 05, it means like we have to provide a proper data. We have to provide a consistent data. We should not provide inconsistency in data. We should provide a best data. We should not give faulty data, right? Now I click on submit button. You can see no errors and you have submitted the change request 684 and my status is workflow is currently being processed. Now I click on refresh button. Can you see the status is changed now? So I changed changes to be executed to be considered and approved, right? Instead of 02, I have updated 01, right? Where is that? Yeah. So here I have updated 01 to be considered and approved. The same thing, whatever we have added in decision table, you can see that here. You can have your custom status also. So like this stage, if I want data specialist, right? Data specialist approver. I can update this a data specialist approver in customization. I can add my own entries and I can put any number, not only 1, 2, 3, whatever you want. The new change request status that can be updated. And now I have activate and reject. I said we will have two buttons, right? Activate and reject. These are the actions. So these two are available here. If you give activate 09, it will come. If you give your name will come here. If you give something else, so that something else will come here. So it means workflow is tightly integrated with BRF tables. There is no matter whatever you give here, it will be adjusted automatically. From the BRF decision table, whatever you give, it will accept and triggers the workflow. So there is no need of changing the workflow. Generally, if you want to change workflow, what we need to do? Okay, now I have workflow. Let me go to the workflow PFTC. I'll take workflow template 6080068. Yeah, and this is supplier. 1 minute. 6. Yeah. So this is our template. Let me go inside. This is my standard business workflow. This workflow is interlinked to the BRF decision table. Where it was interlinked? It was available in the change request. If you observe this, when you do the configuration, a change request configuration, let me go to MDG IMG. If you observe in process modeling, change request type and create change request type, and you go this, yeah. Can you see this is the workflow template 6080086 standard template, the same one. So here you will have, so if you want to change anything, generally you need to change this template, but without changing this, it will act as a dynamically. It is integrated, it is closely working with a BRF decision tables. Whatever you update in BRF tables, this template will get adjusted automatically. You no need to change anything, right?
Question to check that. Is there any instance we also involved in workflow changes? Any project in your?
Yeah, some customers, they will prefer, custom workflow templates. So instead of
I'm talking about this one, delivered workflows. Now you are seeing, right? 6080086.
Yeah, this one.
Is there any chances we need to extend or something, or modify anything? Or if you want to changes, we need to go with a custom workflow.
Right. So you can do the changes also. That's not a problem. But whenever you add a decision table in BRF, so you no need to update this. In case if you are not using BRF tables, then what you can do, you can copy this template to our own template, and you will need to build your own logic. Instead of going to this BRF, you need to create a own logic by changing the bus object also. SW01. So here we will have BUS 2250. This is dedicated for MDG change request. We need to delegate this business subject, and we have to change the methods. We have to change the process related to our own functionality.
I got it. Yeah, it's related to 2250. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But most of the customers will use the standard process only, the BRF only, because it has other options, service name and all. So this is very much useful. Dynamic agent service, and here also in non-user agent we will have service.
Yeah, conditional alias. The second one is equal to 4 semicolon equal to 6. 2 have given, right? So I was just a little confused with this one.
This one, huh?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
This is like 4 or 6, both are same. So 4, if you are the conditional yes is equal to 4.
Okay.
Yeah. If you double click, it will go open. Okay. And now, so you can see activate and reject. Right now, let me see the workflow. If I click on workflow, I can see here it is with this user ID. So in real time, you will see a multiple instead of this user ID. You will see multiple. We have added this user ID. Where it is added? Now, if you go here, this is my user ID. Right? It is at activation step 157. So where it 157, 5 step is for process errors. 1 is for to be considered. Now we are coming from to be considered, right? So conditional yes, 1 is executed and it went here, and 1 is executed and I got this user agent. The same thing here you can see processor. And now I'll show you this template also. This template how it is executing. Now let me go to SWIA and provide my this 172824. 172824 and execute. Here you will have a workflow log. If I go here, see this is executed automatically. Wherever you can see the green, it is executing like that. It is automatically adjusted. So now we are in this step. This is all dynamic dialog process and waiting for agents. Once it is done, this step, it will go on complete. Okay, and I'm coming back. Now what I will do, I'll activate this. As soon as I click on activate, so I got a message, validation happened again. On each and every action, we will have validation. Data has not been changed since it was at last saved. Okay. There are 2 warnings. Okay, I agree. And refresh. Let's see what will happen. It went into error. Process errors after activation. Process error after activation because there are some issues. Even though we updated and process pattern is 06, but something went wrong. It did not activate it successfully. And let me see why it was not activated. Where we can check this in real time. Suppose I got the same issue. My material number, which I have updated, is not processed. So where I can check this? So you need to check the workflow log and identify something. If any error, here you can see, yeah, you can go to log, technical settings. So I don't think here we don't have any error. So now we will have SLZ1 transaction code, SLZ1. We need to provide a change request number 684. Here I'll use 684 for the external ID and click on execute. You can see the log displayed. And can you see the error? If you observe clearly, we have seen this error when we are submitting the change request, inconsistency error. So that's why it did not activate it properly, right? And you see the plant also. This is what we added. There are some issues, some inconsistency. So that's why it did not activate it. So this is a monitoring error analysis. You need to note that transaction code is SLG1, change request error analysis. You can do from SLG1. And now let me take another example. I'll take from table if any material is activated already. I will take that gmat change request 31 32. Okay, let me take this 32 and which material it is. So how we can check the material? So here you have a change request number and change request type. Which material was updated under this change request? So you will have, if you observe when I'm creating a change request, you will have a right hand side, not right hand side, right left hand side, you will have some option. Is that, is it closed? Yeah. So here you will have change request, right? Now let me identify my material number based on my change request number. If I expand this, I have a change request and documents, my change request and display change request. In display change request, I'll provide my change request number and I'll click on continue. Can you see here material number? I can see number 11 and change request is 32. It is already completed. And now I will open this and let me try to change this without adding anything. Let's see. Hopefully system should activate this properly, should complete the process. Edit. I don't have edit option here. Let me open it separately. Material governance, search material. Material number is 11. 11, I got it. So this time I have edit option. Again, I will be choosing my change request type, my own change request type, and description, test material, update. Okay. And what I can change? Better I will not extend anything related to plant or something. I click on check. Let me see if there is any inconsistency in the data. So no errors. So this is good data.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
And now maybe I can add a gross weight, right, to 10 and uncheck. This is for base, right? I'm getting some inconsistency. Specify the relevant unit of weight. Okay, so here let me add. So it should derive actually. Net weight, I will give 10 and I will update this kg. And here material group is not there. I think there won't be any issue. Let me click on check. Yeah, no errors found. So this is good data. Now what I will do, I'll submit this change request. Submitted and let me refresh, activate. I clicked on activate. No errors found. Data has not been changed since it was saved. We have started the activation of change request. And refresh again. It is a process errors after activation. Why process error after activation? 685 error in program PLMDG change pointer. So somebody has implemented the change pointers also. Data record to be inserted even though the data record with the same primary key. So some other functionality is also triggering. But let me check with the other change request type. Anyhow, this is in error. What I will do, I will delete this 685. So to delete the change request, you will have USMD delete. You will have a delete C request. I can give data model and my change request. I can delete this. Let me try with the previous change request type. I just wanted to confirm that it is the issue with change request or something else. So now I'll proceed this same functionality with the earlier one, the other CR type. Let's see. We are spending more time on this, but it's okay. Check. So I'm not changing anything. Yeah, simply here 10 net weight and gross weight 10 and kg. Check and submit. So you will need a lot of patience actually when you are working on this change request. You will have a lot of back and forth you need to do. Okay, this is fine. And now it went to the user created by, and let me see who is the approver. Multiple and data expert. I will take this 172870. Let me execute this directly. SWIA 172870. I will do without check. So without check, you can directly activate the change request, approve change request if you have access. I have this button now. Let me activate. This is activated and refresh. Let me refresh. See, this is also process errors after activation. See, something missing or something went wrong. Earlier it was activated properly, but now in the system something went wrong. Some change pointers, something was updated. It was not properly checked. So go to SLZ1 and I will check this change request type. Validation is completed. Yeah. Issue with this change pointers. Okay, I'll see this maybe later, but here we are spending a lot of time.
Question
Yes.
here. You showed a step to execute workflow in the background, right? Can you tell us the T code to do that and show that once again? Because I have seen different some people using SW01 also. So which is the right T code?
Yeah, good question. This is, I think, definitely you will require this knowledge. So if I go to SWIA, so what I'm doing here, I'm taking workflow template or work item ID and I'll do without check, right? Without check means without proper authorization. I am directly going to the approver place and approving the change request.
Okay.
Right. Even though I'm not the approver list, even though I'm not in the approver list, workflow did not identify me. So I am forcefully taking that and approving. So this is one level of indirect pushing. So in another way, you will have SW woven here. We will have a test. You can give any change request and you will have activate to. What you will have? Activate to. If you execute this, it will directly activate. It will directly activate the material. It is not part of the business workflow also. It is related to change request. It is related to change request activation. It will directly get activated, not from the approver. So approver, if you go from workflow, you will be going to workflow and you will be just clicking on the button. Then it will go and execute this activate to in backend. But here, if you manually do activation to, it will directly get activated.
But I saw you did it in the test mode. So will it still work?
Yeah, it will work. If we activate again the same process, the system action. This is a system action. System will check everything. If everything is consistent, data is the good data if we have provided to the change request, then it will be activated. Otherwise, if there is something issue, then we will get activation errors.
Okay. So is it okay to use in the production system or it's
No,
good in
not
test?
at all. You should not use this. Both approaches are wrong. This is just for a temporary workaround. Activate to or SWIA, SW, some other transaction code, SWI1. So you should not use that in production. Maybe in development for the demo purpose, we can use that. In general, in real-time system, you will have authorization roles. You will need to log in with the approver role and then approve the change request. You should not use this.
Yeah, this will come very handy during the testing phases, right?
Yeah.
Or demo.
Right. You have to log in with other user ID and do it. So I'm a bit stuck with this. Let me try create material at least. If create is working, then we will show one demonstration just for create material. This is create material. I'll do test create material. Okay. I'll try to check since it is copied from other material. So all the data is available. You just need to simply click on submit button. Once you have system access, I request you to do practice so that you will have some kind of experience how we can submit the change request and all. So this is changes to be executed and workflow log. If it is a real time, so I should not go to O1 and execute. I should log in with this user ID and then approve from the. Now we don't have credentials for that. Let me directly go on and do it from workflow 17 to 893. Something, some kind of configuration or some issue is there. Then we can see that 500 internal server when it is loading. Yeah. So now I'm just activating it. Okay. Refresh workflow. See, this is also error. Something went wrong actually. So there is no issue with change request types. There is some issue in the system itself. 687, same error. Maybe we will see some other change request type, finance or something, center or profit center. But I'll copy the workflow, BRF workflow later, and maybe we will see that. And any doubts on this change request process? So I request you go to the NWBC and observe each and every screen here, each and every tab. Change request, what is available in change request? What is a process material? So what are the options we will have in material processing? What are the options we will have in process of multiple materials? And what is a change request and documents tab? So here, this is important, change request and documents. So change request and documents page, you can see all the change requests which I have created. I can filter with my created by me, to be processed by me, or processed by me, right? Or all. I can filter based on the dates, previous month, previous year also I can filter. And I can navigate from here to workflow. I can navigate to export. I can check the change documents. What is change documents? So let's say in this change request, I just wanted to check what are the changes are done. What are the changes performed? So let me take one final check upload one. 624. I'll click on change document. So here I can see the changes related to this material, related to this master data. So this is for cost center. The cost center, you can see the controlling area 000, new and old, new value and old value with attributes. It means like it's completely new. So we have created a cost center something, and then it is a final check upload. Maybe better we will use this 624. But it is very old. I'm not sure. Maybe we will check. Yeah. So if I check the other one, change documents. So here also you can see what are the change documents. It is also related to finance. Let me check any latest one. I'll take for, so what we have created 687. I click on change documents and I can see here what I have changed. Attributes, material, a new PC, and change one. If I go 684 or 686, I click on change documents. I can see attribute and old value, new value. So I changed. You observed, right? So I have changed the gross weight and net weight and unit of weight, UIM, from blank to kg. So new, here you can see the new value or old value. Right, everything available in the change documents. As a functional consultant, you need to have a knowledge on this. What is change document and how we can check the workflow? What are the objects are assigned to the each change request type? Since we are we are creating a single change request process, you can see the single material. But if it is a multi-processing, you will have multiple materials. If it is a mass upload, you will see materials, multiple materials. If it is a file-related file upload change request in finance, you will see multiple cost center, multiple finance objects. Yes.
Yeah. Is there any option like where used or impact analysis tab? Means where this material is used, can we check like parent-child relationship?
Where we can use this material, it means like we will have search button here.
Okay.
Let's say I'm in search material. So I'll show you what are the options are available. Suppose I wanted to check my material. So here you can see wherever you see the clock symbol, it is pending change request. So once it means like it is already locked in the change request. You should not process it again, right? This is one important note you need to keep in mind, that if something is showing as clock, it is staging. The change request is already processing. You should not change it again. And one more thing, if I want to check the change documents for this 46 material, I can see from here change document. Same thing last time what I have shown. So from here you can navigate and you can see the replication status. Earlier replication status, whether it is the 46 material was replicated or not. You can see from here. If it is replicated, here you can see the communication channel. Is it through iDoc or web services? And when it was replicated, what is the status? Status should be green. And target systems. And also you can see the other tab, replicate. If you find something like it was not replicated, so you no need to create another change request again. If it was already replicated, you no need to create one more change request. You can simply do replicate. So in replicate, it will give you the available systems and simply you click on replicate. So it won't create a new change request and the replication will happen directly. Don't get confused with this. This will everything, entire change request process will be skipped and replication will happen directly. It won't go to the change request process. So now you can see the replicated one selected objects replicated. Now I will close this and let me check the replication status. Can you see? Earlier it was blank. Now I can see this one entry. Though it is in error. Through RFC, it tried replicating it. This is manual replication.
I want to know like the parent-child relationship, like hierarchy wise. Might be this material will be used some bill of material or it might be attached to some documents. So just I want to find out that relationship where and all this material is used.
That I'm not sure where we can check the bill of material and all. But in finance, we will have a concept called hierarchy. So whenever you create a cost center, profit center, cost element, so there are two available options. You can create with hierarchy or you can create without hierarchy. If it is not available in the hierarchy, you need to arrange them. Like I would say, let's say here we will have a cost center and we will have a center group and we will have cost center hierarchy, right? Hierarchy will be like a C01. Cost center group, it's like CZ01. A cost center A, it's like CS 00012, something like this. So we will maintain one hierarchy. For few objects, it is mandatory to maintain hierarchy. For few objects, it's not mandatory, even in finance. But for material, there is no hierarchy. In case if you have a bill of material, that is not part of MDG. That is not part of MDG. You need to check bill of material, the classic or the old format, material master, how you will be checking. So that format you have to check. And if something is like whenever we create a material and bill of material also should get updated. If we have that kind of a requirement, we will need to we will need to add the own functionality. So the standard material master will not generate bill of material automatically. So that is different. Okay. And since we are talking this hierarchy, let me go to this KSH3. I will take controlling area A000. Yeah, A000. See here you can see the standard hierarchy for cost center. And we will have cost center hierarchies or groups assigned, right? Similarly, in real time, we will have step-by-step process. We will have one hierarchy. Under that hierarchy, we will have group. Under that group, we will have subgroup. Under that subgroup, we will have center. But in material, you don't have that hierarchy. Even though you check.
Would you be covering the finance master data separately?
As part of the syllabus, it is not available, I think. But yeah, we will cover that finance also, since the material is giving some issues. Better, I'm thinking like we will go with finance. There are a lot of objects. I hope it should work. Okay, now if I go to finance, let me take finance controlling governance. So here we will have a different options: cost center, profit center, cost element, group, etc. Right? We will have hierarchy also. So this hierarchy process is not available in material. So there is no MDG standard approach to get all the BOM and other material related data at one place. Okay, fine. So we spent a lot of time on this. Still we have BRF concepts pending. So BRF, we have just seen a rule-based workflow. I'm just going to these sessions in the PPT. We are in rule-based workflow. Rule-based workflow is covered, and BRF concepts. We will have DQMs, we will have validation and derivations. So through BRF, we will create a validations, we will create a derivations, we will create some tables. I think I'm not sure whether here we will have data quality management apps, Fiori apps, but I'll cover that concept also. So now most of the customers are preferring to use BRF. Why? I was wondering earlier why they are using a BRF. Earlier, everybody was saying we should skip the BRF and then do everything through coding. So now they switch and then changing everything into BRF. Even though the tables, the configuration tables are, control tables, which we have from S11, they changed into BRF because that is user friendly. User can easily change the BRF data, and they will have, easy navigation, and they will have a flexibility to trigger the data from MDG to another non-SAP systems. So that's why BRF knowledge is very much important. You need to focus on this more. We will have a BRF rule sets. We will have functions. We will have function IDs. I'll give you the BRF related, the knowledge. Maybe we can start from, and I'll also tell you that if something went wrong with the BRF, it is very difficult to backtrack. It is very difficult to identify in the system. So I'll give you some troubleshooting techniques also. I'll share some transaction codes where you can delete, create something, you can modify it for the BRF applications. Okay, and then data modeling basics. Data modeling we covered. Data modeling we haven't covered. We covered, right? Data modeling. Type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 and all. Yeah. So it was covered. And business partner, supplier, consolidation, domain finance also there. Yeah, I'll cover finance subjects also. Fine. Okay, we'll see the change request for finance object, since material is having some activation issues, and validation and derivation part. Fine.
Srikanth, in which session we will learn how to send email notification and custom email notifications during the process?
Yeah, email notifications are triggered from a baddie. So you will have a baddie in MDG options. If you go to MDG IMG, you will see so many baddies everywhere. Suppose
but isn't email notification default in MDG?
Not defaulted. It is just a notification. We need to customize. We have to write the logic.
So which session we would cover that?
That I'll cover, not in details. High level I will tell, because it will take a lot of time to trigger email notifications and all. We will cover that part. We will cover that. That's better. Anyhow, we are working on this decision tables. I will write some piece of logic to trigger email also. Okay. So you can see here from UI, you will have baddie, right? If I go to a process model and change request, you'll have baddies. If I go to a workflow, here also, if I go to rule based, I have baddies, right? So using these baddies, you can achieve kind of email notifications, IDOC updates, some other functionalities, like how you say once the material is created, the BOM also should get updated, right? So all other than this MDG, so we can achieve through BADI. So here we will have system method caller BADI, we will have dynamic BADI, we will have parallel result handler BADI. These are all important BADIs. I'll teach you one by one. All these are important, along with email. Okay.
So will you be uploading that document on the rule-based workflow?
That I'm not sure where I should update. I need to check with them, with ZaranTech.
All right.
We spent most of the time in CR, but that's worth actually. So you will need to have hands-on on a change request. Being a functional consultant, you will need to spend more time in change request validation, derivations, workflows, and this and that. Okay.